children. I'm your Sangeeta ma'am, and today we will study the poem from Buzzword, Grandma Climbs a Tree by Ruskin Bond. Before starting with the poem, let's learn about the author, Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond was born on 19th May 1934 in Kasoli, Himachal Pradesh. He is an Indian author of British descent. The Indian Council for Child Education recognized his pioneering role in the growth of children's literature in India and awarded him the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. He has written more than 30 books for children. He now lives with his adopted family in Landor near Mussoorie. I'll give you a slight introduction of the poem. Grandma Climbs a Tree by Ruskin Bond shows Bond's great ability to find and describe unusual persons and events with warmth and humor. Grandma Climbs a Tree portrays Bond's love for his family. In this poem, Bond tells us how his grandmother had a passion for climbing trees from a very young age and how she could climb trees till the age of 62. The only problem was that Bond's family was scared that one day she would fall. Once, when everyone except Grandma was out of town, the old lady climbs a tree but is unable to come down. After being rescued, as Bond puts it, the doctor advises her rest. However, Grandma is not able to live without a tree, so she tells Bond's father to build a tree house. Accordingly, Bond and his father build a tree house, and this way, Bond and his grandma spend evenings sitting in the tree house drinking sherry. It shows his ability to enjoy unusual events and actions. So let's start with the explanation. This is a poem, as the title suggests, how an old lady keeps the childish habits and desires. The poet explains his grandmother's habit. He calls her a genius as she could climb trees. At last, she climbs a tree. The poet says at the age of 62. There wasn't a tree in the garden which she hasn't climbed and enjoyed this gift. As she started growing old, her family and well-wishers suggested that she must now stop climbing trees and lead a graceful life. Grandma laughed at them and said that she will grow old disgracefully. The poet says that there wasn't a single tree in the garden which she hasn't climbed. This act of tree climbing was taught to her by her dear loving brother when she was 6. All her family members and well-wishers feared that some mishap may occur to her and she may fall down from the tree. But what happened exactly was totally different. Once the family members were out of town. As usual, Grandma climbed a tree and couldn't come down. After she was rescued, the doctor came, examined Granny, and suggested Granny to take bed rest for a week, much to the relief of family members, because grandma will be in bed and they will be at peace. But poor Granny, her life was a living hell, as she was confined to bed and in her room for a week, whereas outside the weather was beautiful. The trees, the leaves, the level rustling, and she just wanted to be out. And once when she became strong, she called her son and told him that she will not lie in bed any longer and wants a house on the treetop. Now the poet's father, like an obedient son, assured his mother that she will get what she wants and started building a tree house. The poet was an expert, and with his help, the father and son soon finished their work and built a beautiful house on the treetop. The house had windows and a door. After that, Grandma lived in that house, and the poet would climb the tree every day with glasses and tray. The poet supplied food and wine to her, and she sat there, ate and drank with her grandson, and claimed that it was her right to live in a tree. Children, I have given you the summary of the poem. If you read it, you will be able to understand what it is about. Followed by a question. Think and answer. Do you think that the tree climbing was an unusual act by Grandma? Was it also unusual in how she felt about it? What kind of a person do you think she was? The answer has been given. You may be getting similar kind of questions. So understand the poem, read the summary and answer accordingly. Thank you.